I cannot believe they would risk keeping Einstein in such a poorly defended area.
Believe it or not, they did. And now we have him. The transmitter is undetectable and has a range of 500 miles.
What makes you think the Allies will try to rescue him? Certainly they think he died in the attack on the base.
That would have been true, had I not leaked information about Einstein's capture and scheduled execution. The Allies will come for their prize.
And we will be able to track him through his watch.
Yes, comrade, and he will lead us right to the chronosphere.
Einstein is gone, comrade.
Allied coordinates coming in now.
With the chronosphere and the Iron Curtain, soon we will stand invincible. Prepare a strike team.
Be careful. The Allied radar automatically sends a destruct code to the chronosphere if an intruder is detected. If you are detected before the radar is captured, we could lose the chronosphere.
Losing the chronosphere is not an option.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle reporting.
New construction options. Building. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledge.
lost. New construction options. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Reporting.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Report. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete. Cannot deploy here. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building. Building. Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Comrade. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Comrade.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Unit ready. Building. 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 Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes,
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Spy plane ready.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Comrade,
Unit ready. Building.
acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle
Unit
affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting or acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting
Unit
orders.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Comrade, affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building. Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost. Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Base is under attack. Unit ready. Building. Naval gear lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Naval unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
Building.
Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit
Waiting
ready.
order.
Building.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Vehicle acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Waiting order. Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade, acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Comrade. Affirmative. Comrade. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds.
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Low power. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged. Comrade. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Reporting. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Comrade, affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Comrade, acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Silos. needed.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Our base is
Yes,
under attack.
affirmative.
Building. Silos needed.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Silos
reporting.
needed.
Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. Construction complete. Cancel. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Silos needed. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Our base is under attack. Building. Prepare. Construction complete. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Comrade, acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Select target. Select target. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting at once. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Training.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Silence
Affirmative.
needed. Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Training. Silence needed.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training. Spy plane ready. Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training. Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Select target.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Affirmative. Very well. At once.
Silos
Waiting order.
needed. Silos
Acknowledged.
needed.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under attack. Spy plane ready. Silos needed. Building. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Our base is under attack.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Building. Construction complete.
Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Silos
Yes.
needed.
Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Engineering. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Objective. Mission accomplished.